One day on the island of Sodor, the Fat Controller was talking to James, Stepney, and Thomas. Let's listen. Engines, I have some important news. As you all know, Thanksgiving is coming, and the express will be getting heavier with all the visitors coming to see their families. So, I will need some extra help with the trains, and one of you will get to pull it. The engines whispered among themselves. I get to pull it, said James. No, you don't, said Stepney. A strong engine like me should. Could I pull it, sir? Said Thomas. No, you already have Benny and Clarabelle, said James. Well, last time you pulled a train, you had to use bootlaces. No, we're not starting this again. The engines continued to argue until the Fat Controller said, Silence! A hush fell over the yard. I've made up my mind. Stepney? Yes, whispered Stepney. Stepney, you shall pull the express. James, you shall fetch the coaches, and Thomas? Yes, sir. I would like you to take me to the station. Ah, groaned Thomas. Yes, sir. Soon Stepney arrived at the station, and James pushed the coaches up. Be careful, said James. Why? Asked Stepney. 'Cause the train is heavy, and once you get to the top of the hill, you'll have to apply your brakes, or the coaches will push you down with all the extra weight. I don't need to listen to you. I'm the strongest engine ever, said Stepney, not paying attention to James. I'm warning you, said James. Be careful on the hill. Stepney was still paying no attention, and soon he left. Ha 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 ha, laughed Stepney to himself. Silly James, I don't need his help. I'm twice as strong as he is. But he really wasn't. I can puff up that hill with 20 of these coaches all filled to the brim, he laughed. And he puffed on towards the hill. Soon Stepney reached the hill. It was very steep, and the express was very heavy. He charged at full speed. Come on, come on, come on! He was puffing hard, and at last he finally got to the top. I've done it! I've done it! Hooray! He cheered. Then he had a horrible realization. He'd been puffing so hard, he forgot to apply his brakes at the top of the hill. Oh, man. Just when things were going so nicely, too. Oh, he said to himself. At the bottom of the hill. Ah! 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 Stepney tried to apply his brakes, but it was no good. The coaches weighed too much, and he had gathered too much momentum. Ah, help me! He cried pathetically as he ran along the line. Mavis, look out! It was an awful wreck, but luckily no one was hurt. The passengers were all perfectly fine, but Stepney was derailed. Help me, he said. Mavis, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine, said Mavis, who was startled. Soon the wreck was cleared with the breakdown train. Mavis took the unhurt freight cars back to the quarry. Thomas took the express coaches back to the platform so the passengers could get a new train, and James pushed Stepney home. What did I tell you? Said James slyly. Yes, for the 100th time, you were right, I was wrong, said Stepney guiltily. Well, I tried to warn you. You have to be careful. The passengers could have gotten hurt. Yes, I'm very sorry, said Stepney sarcastically, but deep down he meant it. I'm just glad that you're okay, and I'm just glad that the passenger's okay, said James, but now you have to be careful from now on. Stepney had stopped listening to James, and was thinking about what he would tell the Fat Controller. Epilogue. When the Fat Controller found out what Stepney had done, he was furious. I mean, wouldn't you be? So, he locked Stepney in the sheds for a few days. Then the Fat Controller gave Stepney some assignments to see if he could be a useful engine again. Stepney succeeded, and now he pulls trains like he used to. But he always remembers to be careful when he's pulling coaches. I think we could all learn from Stepney's mistake.